Hello everybody, I'm continuing my count today, and so far I have taken 5 handfuls of worms out of the bin, come up with a little bit more compost that I will need to sift further. The numbers are pretty good, not quite as many as last time. So we started with 945 worms that are in Big Black, and I've got 387 in that little white tote, and we will continue to harvest to come up with a grand total. Okay, on the last handful I forgot to count the worms that fell into the black bin, so we had an additional 16. As an example, I'm going to show you how easy this is. So I'm going to take a good handful, put it in here, which I have the tray in. That's as quickly as it takes to get the vermicompost down. I'll set the tray on top of the lid and start counting. 1, 2, 3, 16. So once the tray is free of worms, I'm going to put that in here. This was a smaller handful, but a lot of worms fall in here, and then we continue counting. 17. Wow, this was a small handful. The last handful I had over 100. 162, and this one was only 17. But that's a good example of what I'm doing, and we will update you later on. 74.
So there's a
75.
few. There's only a little bit of worms.
76. 77. 78.
And then
79. 80. So I took a bigger handful here, and we're getting a lot more worms when we're getting down.
yeah, that's a lot of worms in the worm ball.
Yeah, I'll show you in a minute. 81, 82,
How many are in here?
83, 84, 85, 86. Okay, I've gotten to the end of the tray that had the finished compost in it, vermicompost. And on the tray below we have just shredded cardboard, but there are worms mixed in there. So I'm going to see what I can do about harvesting those. So just to let you know, what we have here is 955 worms. What does it look like?
It looks like a big ball of dirt, sort of. And then when you lift it up, and then it looks like.
Can you move your top hand there? Yeah. And then we'll. Whoa! Wow. There's a worm ball.
And that's a lot of worms.
955 worms. Just a minute. I'm going to see if I can get a little bit closer. Leave your hand. If it comes into focus. Oh yeah, there we go.
There's a few droppings.
Yeah, that's okay. 900. Okay, stop moving, please.
Okay.
955 worms yesterday, or the day before, 945. So we're going to see if we can harvest the rest, and then we'll come up with a firm count. Before I tackle the shredded cardboard, I'm going to try and get all the worms out of the sump here. And I'm not sure if it'll come through on the video. they are making castings at the bottom here as well. So I'll just let you know how many worms were in the bottom here. Okay, I've sifted through all that shredded paper, and this is again at the very bottom of the worm system, and if there's lots of moisture and it builds up, it could drain out of there, but I don't keep it that wet. There were 86 worms in this 2 to 3 handfuls of paper. We really don't know why they do this. It wasn't overly damp. It did have some good moisture and some of it was really dry. But anyways, 86 in the bottom sump. Okay, I've had to dump all of the cardboard out of this tray onto the table because I can't sift any of this out, so I'm going to slowly go through it all and count all the worms. We're up to 8 there. 9.
So,
Yeah.
Why didn't you put in why didn't you take out the last bin? Like before.
What last bin?
This one. With all the compost. Cardboard.
Because that's 10. The whole point was to harvest all of the castings. This is not finished castings, but we also wanted to get a total of how many worms were in the system. So now I'm going to go through these partially finished castings to see how many worms were in here to give a grand total.
Okay.
Okay, my worm counting has come to an end. I know I have missed a bunch, but in this pile we should have 1,552 worms. Let's see what they look like. Oh yeah. Can you see that? Okay, we're going to release these guys into the 360. Oh, look at that ball. Wow. Now just keep filming that for a little bit.
Whoa. That's just like a ball of red.
Yep, that's red wigglers. Everyone, thanks for watching. This has been an arduous task. It takes a lot to count all the worms, and like I said, I know I've missed who knows how many in here, but 125 was the beginning count approximately, and we got over 2,000. I think it's 2,000. I'll post it on the screen. It's almost 2,500 worms.